Alrighty, we are going live both on Facebook and Instagram, and by we, I mean me, and you'll be watching. So if you're live, say hello. If you are watching the replay, I would love for you to hashtag replay on Facebook. So I'm doing a little four-part. Let's rewind a second. I'm Dominique. Hi, how's it going? I'm Dominique. I am the owner of Body Mind Fitness in London, Ontario, where I do small group yoga classes and personal training. And I specialize in core and pelvic health and how to get you moving when you have any core and pelvic health concerns safely and effectively. So this was originally going to be a Facebook Live video, and then I decided to throw on the Instagram Live, which is up here. But because it was originally supposed to be Facebook, I'm going to keep it to staring at the camera for my Facebook. But I still love you, Instagram. All right, so we're here to talk today. So I've thrown out a couple of things, especially recently in my blog post that was originally featured on Love Fit Life, and then I just reposted it yesterday onto my own website. And I mentioned in there that Kegels are not necessarily for everyone. So I mentioned this, and then I got some messages and some, well, what do you mean? If, like, everyone talks about doing your Kegels. You get pregnant, you do your Kegels. You're after pregnancy, you do Kegels. As you age, you do your Kegels. So I wanted to come on here and give you some other variations to help support your pelvic health and bringing some mindfulness to that area that doesn't necessarily involve squeezing and lifting the pelvic floor whenever you just think about it, or doing several reps of it because somebody somewhere along the line told you to do that. So there was actually a study done quite recently, and I'm going to go try to find it for you, and I'll post it in the comment section if you were curious to take a look, where just bringing an awareness to the pelvic floor and the natural movement that it is supposed to make helps to reduce incontinence within the pelvic floor. So incontinence is a huge thing, peeing your pants. There's also fecal incontinence as well. So just having this awareness of how the pelvic floor should move and how it reacts in the body just with the breath when you're aligned properly, it can make a world of a difference. And it actually had an 85% reduction in pelvic floor concerns, which is amazing. So today's part one is going to be all about alignment. So as the weeks go on, so every week I'm going to pop in here Tuesday, approximately 2 o'clock, depending how my technology works, and give you kind of a lowdown on some of the things you can be working on aside from that. So believe it or not, just by fixing your alignment, if you have lower back pain, if you do have lower back pain, feel free to give you a little me emoji. Having lower back pain can also be helped and can be reduced with developing proper alignment. So I'm going to just move myself back. I'm going to be quite a bit further away from the camera than I'm used to. And I'm going to make use of that chair in a little bit. So for many of us, especially if you happen to have had any children, we tend to fall into a pattern where we kind of exist like this. So we're squeezing our glutes, we're thrusting the hips forward, especially in those early days, up to about a year old, you're carrying your baby a lot, and there's this feeling like we need to kind of incorporate the glutes to help support that baby. But there's also different things in our life that bring us into this position, and part of that is sitting, which is what I'm going to use that chair for in a little bit. But let's get to it and figure out ways that you can just, when you're standing around cooking, cleaning, when you're standing in line somewhere, you can start doing this and nobody's going to notice that you're doing anything. So if we're in this position here, and I'm just going to lift my arms up to kind of get them out of the way. So you'll notice that I've kind of taken that natural curvature out of my lower back, and that's where a lot of lower back pain comes in. We're lengthening those muscles in the lower back. We're in this position. We sit a lot in this position. We drive in this position. And this pulls on these muscles and creates strain within those muscles. So we want to first and foremost be able to bring that natural curvature back into the lower back. And a simple way to do this is if you visualize your perineum, which is between your vagina and your anus, and you just shift that back between the ankle bones. So that way we're not thinking of putting the curve in the lower back, because when we do that, we almost go over the top and kind of thrust it back. But if you think about just taking your perineum, sliding it back between the ankle bones, it just starts to bring that natural curve back in. So I'm just going to show a little adjustment there. So that is the first thing to do. The other thing that I highly recommend is, especially I find this for both men and women really, we're told to stand up straight and kind of pull our shoulders back and we lift our chest up. Like, know, showing how tough we are or something, I don't know. And what this does is it actually lifts and flares the rib cage. So if you do that perineum sliding back, and then you add this lift of the chest, it actually creates quite a bit of compression in the lower back as well. So we want to be able to soften the rib cage down. So we've got that shift. So let's bring me back to my not so good posture. So we've got that kind of forward tilting position. So we take the perineum, slide it back between the ankle bones, and then we soften the rib cage down. And it can be very, very difficult to feel how that feels like when you're not familiar with that feeling. When it comes to pelvic health, a lot of times we are very disconnected from this area in the body until something really bad happens. And for some of us, we continue to disconnect ourselves from that body, not wanting to deal with it. And for others, we are kind of like, well, you know, it's just normal. I've had a kid, I'm aging, of course I'm gonna leak a little bit. This is not true. This is not something that you have to live with. And it starts with developing that posture. So if, for instance, we're standing up nice and straight, I wish you could see my ankles. You can on Instagram, you can on Facebook. To get a feeling of how the rib cage should be, you can stand kind of in that nice position, pelvis tilting back, and you can come into what's called a ski jump pose. So we actually start to lean forward from the ankles. And when we lean forward, you can feel right away that there's contraction happening through the transversus abdominis. But you can also feel your rib cage kind of lining up beautifully with that pelvis. And then you try to maintain that as you come back. So again, ski jumper, we take a breath in. As we exhale, we start to lean a little bit. And then we try to bring that feeling of the rib cage back with us to the standing position. Another thing that might help with the visualization is visualizing the rib cage and the pelvic floor as two bowls. So the pelvic floor would be kind of your right side up bowl, your rib cage being right on top. And we want to get those bowls mirroring each other. The English language, I'm telling you, sometimes I think my brain's working faster than my mouth. So we want to get those bowl shapes stacked right on top of each other. We don't want to be pulling ourselves back and presenting the chest. We want to feel that softness, and that ski jump is going to help you introduce that feeling of what that kind of softening of the rib cage would feel like. Additionally, one of the big causes of lower back discomfort exists when we sit. So I'm going to bring this chair in. I'm going to put it back here so you can see the seat of the chair. There we go. So a lot of times when we come to a seated position, we kind of sit back. I'm going to try to bring myself a bit away. We sort of sit on the sacrum or the tailbone. So we're compressing through the abdominals. Again, we're getting that lengthening feeling through the lower back. So again, going back to the beginning, we lengthen out those lower back muscles. They develop flexure around them to help maintain that lengthened position. Then we kind of feel this constant lower back discomfort. So if you have a desk job, check how you're sitting. And if you work in an office with a lot of people, it might look a little bit awkward because there's 2 tips I'm going to give you of how to fix your posture. You can start doing this right here, right now. So, come back to a standing position. So you saw me the first time, I kind of just flopped down, kind of rolled myself forward. If you type, you kind of start typing so your shoulders roll forward as well. If instead you think about squat when you come back, so pushing the hips back and down and landing in the chair, you start to feel taller right away, and you're probably going to start to feel your lower back being alleviated from stress almost immediately. I do this exercise a lot when I'm teaching corporate yoga, especially people who are working at desk jobs, and this helps immensely. If you feel a little bit weird about coming to your chair, you're kind of going, hoping nobody is punching and noticing you, then another option is so if you just flop down naturally. And again, this might be embarrassing too, but you can lift and move your bum muscles out of the way. So you want to feel your sits bones connected to the chair. That's it. Very simple exercise, very quick to do. You can probably do it on the down low a little bit, but we want to start reintroducing that lower back curvature that is supposed to be in there naturally and kind of gets you going that way. So that's all for the presentation part of it. So if anybody has any questions right now, I'm just kind of taking a look here. Feel free to post them. If you have questions when you're watching the replay, I will definitely check back frequently, make sure that I answer those for you. So that is part 1, and we're going to be talking about the breath next Tuesday. So if you're interested in this content, you're really enjoying what you're seeing, you want to learn more, I'm going to throw the link to get onto the mailing list. If you're on Instagram right now, if you go to the links, the quick links in my bio, it says free yoga sequence, so that gets you onto the mailing list. You'll also get a free yoga sequence. I'll make sure to put that comment as well into the comment section on Facebook here. And you can get yourself that free yoga sequence. I think it's about 36 minutes long. It is pelvic floor inspired, but I love using props, and I just wanted to make it nice and simple for you to be able to do at home. And definitely, if you have questions about that as well, you can feel free to reach out to me. And then all of this content, so this video will be showing up in that newsletter. Future videos will as well. Plus, you get some extra little bonus stuff, including kind of the shenanigans that are going on around here, as well as advanced notification for specialty programs, workshops, classes, openings for personal training, all of that stuff in there. So there's lots of great content that I'm trying to throw out your way. So that's all I've got for today. So thank you so much for your time. I always appreciate when you take the time to tune in and see what's up on my videos. So if, again, you have any questions, comments, and concerns, I really, really like to emphasize this at the end. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me via DM, via email, whatever your preferred method of communication is, because it is my goal to empower you, to make you feel like there is nothing out there that you will not do because you are worried about pain, especially in the pelvis, lower back area, or that you're worried about an unfortunate accident happening if you happen to go to the trampoline park and jump on a trampoline with your kids. This is what I do. I empower you to be able to move freely in your body while having strategies and techniques to help manage and prevent your pelvic floor concerns. And the core too, because the core is really interconnected, and you're going to learn more about that next time. So I'm going to sign off for now. But yeah, it was so great having you here. Thank you again so much for tuning in, and I will see you this time next week, but 17 minutes earlier. And we'll talk a little bit about breath and how having awareness of breath can really change what is happening with your pelvic floor. Thanks so much again, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Oop, if I hit the finish button, that'd be good, right?